guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my top 5 luxury items of 2017. So when I was creating this list, I wanted it to be items that I reached for over and over and over and over, something that I used a ton, whether I got it at the beginning of the year or I had it since the beginning of the year or I got it towards the end of the year, and it just became like something that I just became obsessed with. So I thought it'd be fun to do this. I was planning on doing a kind of all-encompassing, and when I started creating that list, I noticed that there was just basically repeats of everything that I had talked about throughout the year with my favorites. And so I just thought it would be more fun to kind of do something specific. And then I actually already have kind of a game plan for next year's like 2018 favorites, which I know that's like a year away, so I shouldn't even be bringing that up. But I should have planned a little bit better for like the end of the year, beginning of the year content. I didn't do a very good job. I think for me, I really just needed some time off. So I literally just took some time off and didn't think about anything. And then here I am trying to come back and get content going. And I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? And I wasn't prepared. I'll do a better job next year, I promise. I'm sorry, I know it's gonna be another year before you can see that, but I apologize that I didn't prepare better. But let's go ahead and get into my top 5 luxury items for 2017. Before I get started on my top 5s, I guess there's one thing I should go ahead and mention because I'm sure somebody will notice it, my eyebrows. I just recently had them microbladed a few days ago, so they are looking kind of funky. They're way darker than they will be. It's only been a few days and I have ointment on them, so they look really wet. So just ignore them. They will get better. I already really am loving the shape and the size and all that stuff. Even though the color is a little bit dark because it's just intense right now because it's fresh. It's like a tattoo. It's fresh and brand new. It will fade a little bit. I even like the color, even though it's just a tad dark. But then you also have to remember that I have ointment on them. So that's also kind of intensifying the pigment as well. So let's move on now, for real, this time. So the first item that I want to bring up, that was my top for 2017. It has been a favorite for a really long time, but I thought it would be good to mention in this video because I still get asked on a regular basis. My number 1 SLG, and this is by far my number 1 favorite SLG. If I had to get rid of every single SLG I have in my collection and just keep one, it would be this one, and it is my Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder. I'm obsessed with this little guy. I feel like this is truly life-changing. Now come on, take that with a grain of salt, guys. We are talking about Louis Vuitton accessories, purses, things like that here. We're not talking about life. We're talking about this kind of stuff. They truly are, something like this is truly life-changing in the respect of your handbag and accessories and things like this. I have been trying to have my sister buy one, and then I had her, like, she just recently actually got her first Louis Vuitton bag and then ended up getting her second Louis Vuitton bag, and so she is kind of starting to create her own little collection, which I think is amazing. It's always fun to kind of see that process. And I said the next thing that you need to get is a 6-ring key holder, and she was like, yeah, I guess, you know, I will eventually. And I was like, pull out your keys. And I had her pull out her keys, and she had this giant metal keychain, and I was like, think about it. That keychain is all up in your brand new bags, scratching up the lining, scratching up your new wallet, scratching up everything. And look at mine. My keys are in there. They're not scratching anything. They're protected. Everything is gonna be pretty and not scratched up. And she was like, oh my goodness, I never thought about it that way. So not only do you have that, but you also just have, I mean, how much prettier does this look? It's so much more organized, so much prettier. You can obviously hold up to 6. You don't have to. I still recommend, my opinion, if you're using it for every day, I still recommend the 6 key size versus the 4 key size. The 4 key size is great if you have an extra set of keys, like this is your main key and then maybe you have a 4 key for like your mom's house key, your grandma's house key, you know, all the extra keys if you want to. But I think this is much better for every day because you can actually put a couple of cards back here. So sometimes I'll put like a credit card, an ID back here, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So anyways, this is definitely my number 1. I know I talked a little bit longer about this one, but it's really that good. I highly recommend it. Even if you want to buy it pre-loved, I will link where I like to buy my pre-loved stuff down below as well. And then if I find any of these pre-loved, I will. But of course, you know where to get this. Louis Vuitton. Love it. 6-ring key holder. By far my favorite SLG for sure. There is no way that I can have a top 5 favorite luxury items without bringing up this item. I feel like it would, like, really, Amanda, there's no way you can have a video without mentioning it. And this has been one of those luxury items that I think I purchased it this year. If I didn't purchase it this year, I purchased it towards the end of last year. I really don't know, but I feel like it's changed up my style so much. Not that it's my first one of its kind, but it's really been a game changer style-wise, and it is my Gucci Marmont belt. I love this belt. I love belts in general, but this one by far has definitely changed up my style this year. It has by far been my most popular belt accessory that I share and that gets so much attention. You guys love it whenever I style this belt, which I don't blame you. I love it too. I also think that this is a fairly, again, we're talking about luxury here, fairly affordable luxury item to buy. If you are not into bags, you're not into that, but you're really looking for something fashionable, you're really looking for something to up your fashion game, maybe you aren't naturally as fashionable, stylish, trendy, and you really want something, get a statement belt. I especially am loving the Gucci statement belts right now. I do have some Louboutin ones, of course, as well, but this one is my favorite. I love it, I love it, I love it. You guys know I just purchased another one. I have a haul video up if you want to see my newest statement belt. It's amazing. Like, seriously amazing. But I love this belt. It's a little over $400. I believe it was $420, I believe, which, yes, it's pricey. I know that's ridiculous for a belt, but in the world of luxury, that's fairly affordable for such a nice belt, especially one with this much hardware and for as much of a statement that it creates with an outfit. Believe me, you will not regret it, I promise. I love this one. I'll link some options down below, as well as some new belts that, there's one belt that I want. I'll link it down below for you guys as well. And the next item that I have to share, and I feel like if I made a video saying best luxury items of life, of my lifetime, this would be in, like, if I were to make this exact video in 10 years, I feel like this would be the same. If I were to make this video over the course of my lifetime, this item would be in that video. That's how much I love, love, love. This is one of my favorite luxury purchases that I have ever made. That's how amazing they are. And it is my Louboutin Pigalle, original Pigalle 100s. Not Pigalle Foley's, original Pigalle. These are a little bit harder to find, but I promise you, the searching, the waiting, the impatient, everything is worth it. These are so amazing. Yes, some of the other styles are a little bit sexier as far as the ramp, as far as the stiletto, but these are so much more wearable for every day, for the office, for date nights, for truly like living life, but they're still sexy. I especially love them in this nude color, though they're fabulous in every color that they have, which, granted, I will say this particular style isn't available in a lot of colors. I really usually only see it in this nude color and then in black. Sometimes I'll see it in the regular leather instead of the patent. But like I said, harder to find, I know, but I'm telling you, if I were to make a video in 20 years of best lifetime luxury purchases, these shoes would be on them. This is kind of the shoe, actually no, not kind of, this is totally the shoe that's created the monster that now lives inside of me with my obsession with luxury shoes. This was the first pair that did it. It's not my first pair of luxury shoes because I've had Gucci shoes, I've had other shoes. It was my first pair of Louboutins, but it's the first pair of shoes that just kind of did something in me, and it made me just really want more and really start a collection. And I love these. I highly recommend them if you can find these. Now, don't, in the Foleys, I like to. I have two pair or one pair of Foleys that I love. And so I do like the Foleys as well. But if you're truly looking for a classic pump that is wearable for day, wearable for night, wearable for work, wearable for every event in your life, real life heels that are classic and luxurious and sexy, this is the style. I promise you, you will not regret it. I love these. Hunt them down. They will be worth it. I promise. And the next luxury favorite is something that I actually got towards the end of the year, but it truly has been life-changing. I use it every single day and I love it. I have purchased other similarly purposed items before. This one has by far been my favorite. I wished I had purchased this one from the beginning. I wish I didn't have doubt about it from the beginning, but either way, I'm glad that I have it now, and it is my Louis Vuitton desk agenda. So I have gone through the Agenda PM, the Agenda MM, which I do still have the MM, and then I ended up purchasing this one towards the end of this year. I've been using it for a few months and I love it. I love, love, love this piece. There is something so kind of old school about it, which I love. I don't carry this one around in my handbag with me on a regular basis. If I am going to work at Starbucks or work somewhere or something like that, I will take it with me. But for the most part, I look at it in the morning, I see what my daily schedule is, and I look at it throughout the day when I'm working here at my home office. If I have appointments or anything, I look at it and then I know what my appointments are, and I don't necessarily need to take this with me just to go to my appointment. I just use this to keep track of my appointments. I do have a video where I go over the inserts and everything. I will link the insert that I have for this as well. I'll just show you really quickly. This is my actual agenda insert here, which I'll pull it out just so you can see. It was customizable. I did completely have this customized to my specifications and what I wanted. So I do have a week on 2 pages. I have a week on 2 pages, and you're not gonna be able to see it just because of the lighting, but I do have a week on 2 pages. I customize everything about this. Check out that other video if you wanna see specifics, because I love this agenda. It's by far my favorite agenda that I've ever owned. And like I said, I've gone through the PM, I've gone through the MM, I've gone through even separate agendas, and I just love the size of this. I also have a note section in the back, and these are just like these cheapy little notepads that you buy from Target. No, this is not super fancy or colorful or whatever, but it's so practical and useful that this is by far the first agenda that I've used the most and on a regular basis. I have no problems using this. I actually usually leave it out. So like this is today, I'll leave this sitting on my desk just like this throughout the week, and it's open. So in the morning I go, I look, I see what my schedule is, and then that's it. I use this and I love the way this looks. If I'm trying to like kind of clean up my desk or whatever, I just fold it up and I have this sitting there with my pen on top, and it's just so pretty. That's the only bad thing that I can say about this is there isn't a pen holder. But I usually just keep my pen in the spiral of this little notepad, and it's not a problem. But check out the agenda video that I have if you want to see the specifics of the insert. These inserts are amazing. This cover is amazing. I love it, and I'm so glad that I purchased this. This will be something that I feel like I use for years and years and years and years. I love it that much. And my last favorite luxury item of 2017 is a handbag. I also purchased this year, I think in the middle of this year, and it kind of blew me away with how hard and how much I fell in love with this handbag. Let me show you the handbag first, and then we'll kind of go into that. And the bag is my Louis Vuitton Speedy bandolier in the 25 size, in a bean, of course. So I have always considered myself a classic Speedy girl, and I still am. I just want to make that clear. And I always said, I know the bandolier, and I still even recommended the bandolier to some of you guys whenever you had questions. And I always said that this would be such a practical, useful bag, and I knew it would be, but you truly don't know how practical and useful it is until you have it. And now, don't get me wrong, I do not plan on getting the trifecta of this bag because I love my Speedy 30 Classics. I have all 3 sizes, or all 3 canvases. But this one is such an amazing bag. I love this bag. It is so practical, so useful. So if we're gonna go into the classic versus bandolier, I much prefer the classic in the 30 size, and I much prefer the bandolier in the 25 size. Now, that's a blanket statement, so obviously some people would prefer, or maybe even just need, the 30 in the bandolier and vice versa. I'm just saying what my preference is look-wise. I think style-wise, this one looks much better in a crossbody bag in a 25. However, I completely understand, and I've said this 1,000 times before, if you can't do both and you really want one, then I suggest the 30 in the bandolier, because then you kind of get the best of both worlds. And that's truly the way that I look at it. But I cannot believe how I literally reached for this bag almost every day for the first 2 or 3 months that I got this bag. That is how amazing it was. Like, I wanted to carry this bag, and I have quite a few bags to choose from. I truly wanted to carry this bag. Granted, I've also been obsessed with crossbody bags and like the mini bags, the smaller bags this year, which was also really nice. But I'm so glad that I purchased this bag. I love that I have both so that I can kind of compare classic versus bandolier. They're both amazing. They really are. And I feel like they're just different. I feel like the classic is so chic and, you know, classic and chic and everything. And this one is so useful and practical. So they're really different. Now, I never use this one just top handle. I always use this one with the long strap, and I always use it with all 3 pieces of the strap in it. So I either carry it longer on the shoulder or crossbody. I have a dedicated like crossbody collection video if you want to see all of my bags and if you want to see this bag on my body frame. I love this, and I'm so glad that I purchased this year, and that was partly to a lot of you guys out there. So many of you guys have this bag. So many of you guys told me I needed this bag. I watched so many of your videos, and I just knew that I needed to add the Speedy Bandolier 25 to my collection. And you guys were right. I'm obsessed. I love it. And I love having, like I said, both the classic and the bandolier because I just love the Speedy in general, but especially loving this bag this year. And this bag really just kind of, it surprised me. It surprised me even more than I thought I would love it. It surprised me even more. So I'm so happy to have this bag in my collection. So those are my top 5 items. And like I said, I truly wanted to be items that I love and reached for and used. But I thought that was fun. It's fun to talk about favorites. It's fun to talk about this kind of stuff. You guys know I love to talk with you guys about these kind of things. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will link everything down below, as well as where I get, like I said, I get a lot of questions about where I buy pre-loved, so I'll link that down below as well. But you guys have a fabulous day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.